Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back again doing your Sex and Relationships monthly tarot horoscope for the month of May for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in Aries. And I am using my Decameron Tarot. It is an erotic tarot deck, and I will tell everyone that this is for mature audiences. This is for everyone who's 18 or over, basically, and there's a strong sex and erotic content in these readings. So thank you guys for being patient and waiting for these for so long, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do these again in the future because I have a very busy schedule, but I am going to try my best. And so I did lay out a reading already. I laid out the spread already. I had to stop my video for a minute. So I'm just going to kind of pick up and start again. And I have been starting these readings talking about the past because I feel like it's a good kind of place to start. So this is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in Aries. And this is in the position of the past. You can see this is a girl who's yeah, I see it as a girl going down on a guy. This is definitely a girl going down on a guy, but it could be a girl going down on another girl, potentially. Okay, this is to dream about getting or giving head. This is to live in a fantasy world, wishing for a relationship to get to this level where you can enjoy sex. This is sex dreams. This is wanting dreams to become a reality. This is hoping for more and desiring for more in a relationship with a specific person. If single, oral sex is a must for this person. I feel like this is the dream card. I feel like this is the dream card. It's about dreaming, fantasizing, wanting, hoping, wishing, desiring, but it's not necessarily like this is what's happening. Now, for some of you, this is what was happening in the distant past, potentially in April, okay? This is what was happening for you guys. This can indicate a person who really likes oral sex, okay? Someone who really likes it. Either you like giving it or receiving it, you really like it, okay? Which is great, okay? So, but to me, it's a strong fantasy dream card, okay? Now, in the recent past, you got this card. I call this the cowgirl card, okay? I see of her as being a lot of times a student, okay? She's multitasking. It reminds me of me when I was, in college and I didn't have time for anything, let alone have sex with someone, all the time. I mean, I got it on when I could, basically. That's kind of what college kids do. They get it on when they can, they hook up when they feel like it, they get drunk and they go sleep with whoever, and it doesn't matter at the end of the day too much, okay? This is talks really about the female more aspect than the guy in this picture. I talk about this is a woman who plays a good game, okay? This can also indicate someone, guy or girl, who withholds sex or gives sex on their terms alone. This can indicate a girl who is a bitch. The man can be attracted to her but will realize his mistake if he marries her. Can also indicate a man thinking he is going to get some, only to find out how wrong he is, and that he isn't thinking that she is hot and easy. She's a hot and easy catch, but the reality is that she will be very hard to catch. Okay. This is an untamable woman, a woman who loves her freedom as well. You can see she's really multitasking, okay? She's working in a bar or club or, whatever, and she's getting it on at the same time. So it's kind of like, to me, this is someone who indicates someone who's working a lot, who may not really have time for a relationship, or someone who's in school and working, and they're kind of getting on when they can, but she's not really focused on it, she's not really focused only on it. So it's potentially like where her attention is kind of split. Maybe she wants to have sex, but at the same time she has to work. or she wants to have a relationship at the same time she's in school, you know. So there's these, I feel like she's multitasking. She's doing many things at once. You know, and the thing about this person is that it may not be that you, Aries, are a bitch at all. It may just be that you kind of may come across to people that way because you're so busy. So you may be more rude. You may be doing things a little bit more brusquely. I don't know if that's brusquely. Well, you're just kind of maybe a little bit more bossy than normal. You know, there was a point, I think, when I was in college, and I told my family and my friends, I said, you know, don't expect me to be nice right now because I have getting like 2 hours of sleep. I've got like a zillion classes. I'm just trying to get my shit done, and I've got like papers coming out my ass. So I remember telling people that, like preparing my family, just like telling people not to call me because it was at that point. So you, Aries, if you're Aries female, maybe at that point. Aries guys, you also may be in school trying to kind of get things done, and or you may be out of school. Let's just pretend you know, this is for adults. This is everybody who's out of school, and to me, it just means like you're working a lot and you may not have enough time to be focused as much as you would like on sex or having a relationship. You kind of get it on when you can. Kind of Grey's Anatomy style, where you kind of go into the sleep area and you get it on there, you know, sort of in the middle of the day, you know. This is somebody, you may be attracted to somebody at work, Aries. There may be somebody, or at school, potentially. And I just wanted to get it on with them. You may actually get it on with them at work or school, potentially. Okay, so now, it's interesting. I'm going to talk about what's crowning you. The card that's crowning you is, now we have two cards here about a guy going down on a girl, okay? And then we also have a card here, third, the distant past, about a girl going down on a guy. Okay, so girl goes down a guy, distant past. But then the situation changes. It's really all about her in the recent past and in the what's crowning you, the present moment. Okay, because you can see guy goes down, guy's going down. So to me, this is about not having enough time for sex and working too much, primarily, okay? And this is a card about dynamic chemistry and sex. However, but because we have these cards back to back that are more attention is being placed on the female, I'm going to go ahead and say that female Aries, you know, you're being recently and presently, you're kind of being a little bit more selfish sexually, okay, where it's really more about you and what you want. And so that said, this card generally is about dynamic chemistry, okay, sexual chemistry. Chemistry is off the charts, okay. It says, this man will surprise you on how good he can be in bed. For a woman, this is a considerate lover, someone who knows what they are doing. Clitoral stimulation, toys, vibrators, using all the gadgets in the bedroom to get the job done. It says, it will get done, okay. Great sex, okay. So I wrote, be patient, he's coming, and so are you. And I wrote, so yeah, it really is a dynamic sexual relationship. It's chemistry. It's a partnership. To me, it's like in the present moment, maybe it really feels strongly that some of you Aries are distracted by somebody at work. And it's like if she went home and she took all her clothes off, this is what she would look like. So it's the same person. I feel like the same person. I feel like Aries females may be in a love triangle, or you may be thinking, at the very least, about somebody else who's not your partner or is not your husband. Aries females. Aries guys, you may just have been chasing this girl who's kind of hard to get, playing hard to get, who really may not even be into sex right now. You know, you may be thinking that she's going to be into sex, but she's not, okay? She's not into sex. She's into, you know, either finishing school, or she's into working, or she's just kind of like, she doesn't have the focus or the, you might say, the desire or the attention to put into your relationship, okay? So if you're with an Aries woman, okay, it could be an Aries combination, or you could be watching this video for somebody else. If you're with an Aries woman, it feels like, guys, this is someone who, you know, be very cautious about getting into a long-term relationship, because this is someone who doesn't really care as much about sex as you do, okay? Because to me, there's an inequality there. Now, I feel like for some of you, this female, and you have very strong chemistry, okay? Which is why, you know, you're into her or into it in the first place. There's strong chemistry. Aries females, you may just have very strong chemistry with the guy you're dating. You know, this past connection doesn't have to be, or this past card doesn't have to be you, but I do feel like in a lot of cases it's going to be you, where you're working too much, or you don't really have as much time for sex, or you're just not interested. I feel like you kind of may have gone through a period where you're just not really interested that much in having sex. But in the present moment, you know, you have a desire for someone, and that's someone, and you have strong chemistry, okay? And so here's where it gets interesting. Some of you, okay, so the path that you're walking down here is a path that you can see it. It's a person who's sitting under the trees reading a book, okay? So again, that goes back to the studying student card. This is not, or just someone who's maybe not had sex for a while. This is not having sex for some time, to take time off, a cooling period. This is to retreat into solitude after a bad breakup. Sex life lives on in dreams and fantasies, and to wait for Mr. Right to come along. So we have this element of waiting, this element of fantasy in the distant past. In the present moment, the path that you're walking down is a path that kind of, some of you, okay, not all of you, that can indicate just kind of being in the cooling period, not really wanting to have sex. It's interesting because I was talking about her not really wanting to have sex. It can be a guy too, Aries guys. Maybe you're going through a period where you just don't really have time, or you're dating someone. You know, Aries guys, this could be you here. Okay, you could be the guy, and you're dating someone who doesn't really have time for you, or for sex, or for the relationship. You may have cheated with someone else. You know, you may just have very strong chemistry with your girlfriend or boyfriend. Or you may, you know, you may have more. Your fantasies may live on in the future here, in the present moment, into the future. Okay, it's so, you know, so bizarre, these cards. Each scenario obviously is going to be different. This is a general reading, I will say. So I feel like for some of you, to recap, there's an element of fantasy. There's an element of you taking time off. There's an element of you not having time because of work, or because you know, for whatever reason, maybe of school, or you're multitasking in life and you just have a lot of things going on. So you don't have the time or the interest, or the drive, okay? And potentially you're waiting for someone to be in your life, for Mr. Right to show up. I feel like he's either showing up in the present, in the what's crowning you, so he's going to show up very soon, or he's going to show up later down the line, maybe towards the end of May. And then, okay, so it kind of throws me off a little bit because we have this, not entirely, we have this scenario here, which is like a different couple altogether from what's kind of been pictured with the other couples. This is to get caught cheating. It can indicate, can be male or female. If male, you've been caught. Okay, so your girlfriend or wife finds out. I wrote, women make natural detectives. Remember that. The girl breaks up with the guy. Okay, this can also be an experience that maybe you're remembering, or something that, you're having a difficult time letting go of. Maybe you've been cheated on in the past. Maybe you got caught cheating in the past. Because this is crossing you, I feel like what's happening is that, Aries guys, you're with this girl in a relationship who didn't have time. And you kind of spend a lot of time alone. Maybe, you were going home to like a dark house, an empty house, or she didn't get home until late. Or, there wasn't as much sex as you would like, or there's something going on about her being kind of wrapped up in her own world, okay? And then I feel like you ended up cheating with someone else, and then you got caught, okay? So if you're cheating right now, Aries, my suggestion is be very careful and break it off sooner than later, because you're going to get caught anyways, and it's not going to be pretty when you get caught, okay? It's a very interesting card because I see this as, the guys climbed out the window because the girl's husband comes home, okay? And he catches her cheating, and she is just like, she's grabbing her clothes and she's trying to throw him some clothes out the window, and it's just kind of like a conflict-driven mess, okay? So, Aries guys, I feel like in a way, it could be on the opposite side too. It could be where, the girl's cheating with the guy. It's just, there's so many different scenarios with this cheating thing that it's just like my brain is going, blah, 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 too many. Okay, so basically, to simplify, there's cheating, there's some element, someone gets caught, whether it's a guy or girl, Aries or non-Aries, party, okay? And that's what really is going on. I feel like you do have a dynamic sexual chemistry with that person that you were cheating with. You do have dynamic sexual chemistry if you are in a partnership. Even with the girl who may not have time for sex, you may have very strong chemistry, which is why you're still in it. But I feel like for whatever reason, she wasn't able to dedicate enough time to the relationship. And so that way, that's the reason why you kind of started cheating. You started to fill the relationship with something else, okay? Now, this is where it gets even stranger, okay? So in the immediate future, to me, this is the happily ever after card, okay? So some of you you're having a healthy sex life. Maybe this is, where you're giving it and getting it every day, and maybe you went through maybe a couple of days to a couple of weeks, potentially even a couple of months, where you were going through kind of like a cooler period where you didn't do it as much, but you were still doing it. There's still a lot of chemistry, and you're in a healthy partner. You have a healthy partnership. This is the happily ever after. This is the home where You know, you can't see what's going on inside the house, but this is a healthy sex life. Woohoo! I said to do it, and often the more you do it, the more you want to do it, and there's love there, okay? It says to want to have sex every day, to be in a commitment. Two people who have it all: strong chemistry, hot sex, desire, lust, and love. A full relationship that goes long term. So, for some of you, like I said, you know, you're married. Some of you Aries people are married, and in the future, you're going to kind of have that peaceful period of time. This cheating thing may or may not apply to you. It may just be that things have been good for you and your partner, and in the future, they're going to kind of either return to normal as far as your sex life. You're going to be getting it on continuously. I feel like some of you are going to be moving together, buying a home together. This is building a life together. To me, this is the best card. And like I said, to me, this is the worst card. This is to get caught cheating. It's really bad. It's bad because it hurts a lot of people. You know, everyone involved gets hurt. So it's just kind of crazy. Some of you maybe, like I said, in some kind of crazy cheating cycle, but it may also be that some of you Aries are married and things are good, okay? More often than not, though, I'm going to say that some of you are having an affair, or we're having an affair, or we'll be having another affair in the future. This is cycles, okay? Going back to cycles. This is the wheel, okay? This is the wheel of fortune, okay? And in this wheel, you can see, okay, I'll show it again. We've got two people here that are looking at these people, their spouses or their partner, sleeping with another person, okay? And this is 69 position. Okay, so it says a full-blown affair where two people can't seem to stop fucking even when they know it's selfish and unfair to everyone. It creates bad karma. Do not get involved unless a person is single. This is sometimes the need to fill what's missing in a relationship becomes overwhelming. And sometimes there's a need to be bad, okay? Ultimately, these people need to love themselves first. Sometimes, okay, that's what it says. Yeah, so basically, I feel like this is one relationship here. This is cheating. And then I feel like that kind of comes to an end. That little cheating thing comes to an end. But then someone down the line gets into what I would call a full-blown affair. This is where their spouses know about this, okay? This is sort of like where they didn't know. The spouse comes home and doesn't know. But this is where the spouse is watching. The spouse knows. Maybe, and some people do this where they tell their partner they're cheating. Maybe they've been in a marriage situation for 20 years. And I feel like for some of you Aries, things get better and then things get worse and then things get better within your marriage. So you feel like a need to cheat or to have these affairs to kind of fill during those times where things are kind of not so good. But you may even tell your partner, you know. What's crazy to me is that people get into these, that are in marriages, who tell their partner that they're cheating and their partner's okay with it. That's what really blows my mind. Because anytime that comes up, you know that the relationship is ultimately doomed. That it's ultimately not going to go anywhere, okay? So it's very important for you Aries, guys and girls, to get out of the relationship that you're in. If you're in a marriage, I feel like specifically for those of you who are married, you need to get out of it. If you know that your partner is cheating, for sure, absolutely. If you're cheating, for sure, absolutely, you need to leave. Okay, it has to be that way. Now, the universe is sending you this weird, I call it the Fast and the Furious card, okay? Because this is a quickie. This is a quickie. You know, you can see this is a younger, I feel like it's a younger guy, okay, with an older woman here, okay? And it's this says a quickie or doing it in a public place, public displays of affection. This is a desire to want to fuck in a public place, a public bathroom. I wrote perhaps in a dressing room at an department store. I wrote to fuck fast and furious, a thrilling ride. This can indicate an older woman needing to have sex ASAP, okay? And this is what I call the state of emergency card. This is the state of emergency need to have sex card, okay? So for some of you, you know, for some of you, there's quiet in your sex life. There's quiet. And so, like, it gets to a point where you really need to be getting it on. Now, there's other people, other Aries, that there isn't quiet, okay? There is a lot of action. There's a lot of cheating. There's a lot of horse shit going on. And so it needs to be where, for those of you who there's quiet, you really need to get it on. For those of you where there's a lot of horse shit and horseplay going on, you need to stop. Like you got really two extremes. Aries, you're kind of going to two extremes here. And you may be one of those people that kind of has extremes within your relationship and or extremes in your personality, where on certain days you may really not want to have sex, and other days you really want to do it. So, you know, the Aries is the ram, and it has the two horns. Anything with the two, there can be two sides. Usually, you know, I feel like Aries is more. Aries can be more grounded and stable than some of the other signs. But then from this reading, in the month of May, it's extremes, you know. One day, you know, wanting it to have sex, and another day not wanting to have sex. Now, this is, to me, this is Aries. This is throwing you guys, Aries guys, a bone, because this to me is the Aries guy. This is a very aggressive Aries male dude, okay? This is the king. Is this the King of Pentacles? Yeah, this is the King of Pentacles. This is a man who takes what he wants, okay? Who is brave, who goes after the woman he desires, okay? It says a man who will chase you if he wants you, and be careful, he will get you into bed quickly. Once he does, you will be able to go on for hours, not tire nor care about anything else. This can indicate a woman who wants a man to be aggressive or strong. The desire for someone that cannot be forgotten. This can indicate an old flame. Thinking about old flames that were good in bed that are kind of haunting you. So, to me, this is the aggressive, more aggressive side of Aries. Okay, this is the aggressive Aries male who kind of likes to chase. Aries guys typically really love the chase. So if you're in a relationship with an Aries guy, know that, or dating or going to be dating an Aries guy, know that he will find a way to have sex with you at some point early on in the relationship. That's kind of how I see it. And because you have this, there's an older theme. Some of you may be a little bit older, and some of you may be kind of in that quiet space, and, you know, you're kind of getting to a state of emergency, kind of needing to have sex, and you're thinking back to, because to me this is the card of reflection, thinking back to old lovers, you know, maybe being tempted to call an old lover, or to get back with an ex-boyfriend or somebody like that. But I feel like in the end, you get it on, okay? At the end of May, you get it on. I think everybody goes home happy at the end of May, okay? And this is true for, I guess, all signs. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's, maybe maybe it's the time where Mercury retrograde is like, I don't know, where it's starting to move forward again. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because June is just, to me, June is one of my favorite months. It's just a great time. It's sunny. It's beautiful. It's, starting to everything's in bloom. Everything's vibrating at a higher level. I don't know what it is, but it just seems that everything's going to turn out much better for everyone on all levels, sex or not, the end of May, early June. Okay, it says to make up for lost time. It says having a long-distance relationship or coming together after being apart. To not want or to not wait any longer to be together. Tired of waiting. I wrote, there is so much love between you, so much desire, and there's amazing sex. This is a woman who knows how to please her man, and a man who is totally satisfied. So I'm going to show you that card again. Another one of my favorite cards. So you have a couple of cards. So to me, this is a card of a happy partnership. It could be that for whatever reason you're separated. You may have somebody in the service, Air Force, Navy, Army, and there may be some cheating and stuff going on at home. You might want to be careful about that because, again, ultimately, this hurts people and people will eventually find out. So I feel like there's time and space and distance that separates you from your partner. And a lot of times it indicates, if I see this card, this one about waiting and not wanting to wait any longer and then to finally get to be with someone and making up for lost time, it indicates that there was some time and space and distance between you. And I'm getting a tingle on this. And so a lot of times when people get into relationships like that, long distance relationships, especially, or just being apart from someone you love, there just is too much of a temptation. It becomes too easy for people to cheat, okay? Because they have needs. They don't want to they can't live for months and years without having sex, especially in Aries. Aries guys specifically, I feel like they need to have it more than Aries females. I feel like Aries females can go for long periods of time, but not forever. There's a fire. Aries is fire, and so to me, Aries, both men and women both need to have sex. And if I feel like an Aries female, if she goes for too long of a time without having sex, I feel like she will want to make up for lost time because of all that fire energy will just kind of get built up inside her, and she'll just want to go and do it, and it'll become like she gets to a state of emergency where she can't handle it any longer. And so for some of you who are married, maybe you're in a marriage and your partner is away. Maybe when they go away, it feels like to me, maybe they go away for a long time or an extended period of time. And so it would be easy for you to kind of get wrapped up in an affair. So just be cautious, Aries, who you're with, what's going on. There may be some stuff going on behind the scenes. There may be stuff that you know about. But I feel like, again, at the end of May, everybody goes home happy because you finally get to be with the person that you want to be with, or the waiting comes to an end and you actually meet someone. And that person is amazing. It's more amazing, and you don't want to be with anybody else. And I always say this, if it's real love, if it's true love, you don't want to cheat. You don't want to be with anybody else. That's just kind of that's real. To me, it's a real relationship. So you're in a relationship that's lacking or that isn't as real when you want to cheat, okay? Or when you or your partner's cheating. You know that it's not as real because they wouldn't be cheating if it was. If there was real love between you, it wouldn't be happening. So that's what I have to say about this reading. So I appreciate all your messages and subscribing and liking all my videos. Feel free to email me, ElizabethOlson31@gmail.com if you'd like a private reading. And I will be back again. I'm not sure when I'm going to be doing more of these videos, but because my schedule is so full, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to continue do the sex and relationships as well as my Shadowscapes ones. But I'm going to do the best I can and crank out as many as possible. And let me know what you guys think of this. So I send you guys big hugs, big kisses, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay, take care.